Racing team on the third row beside Bernier. Then we have Mini, Ten Brinker, Armand, Sobrapera, Aaron, Dunn, Vanthof, Skionti, Small and Wurg. This is going to be an amazing show and we will see the very best in the world go to battle. Brace yourselves, hang on to something, and it's going to be go! The World Championship gets underway, and what a start from Taylor Barnard into second position straight away. No surprises there. Kayaski blasts into P2 and the race is underway through the chicane for the first time. And there's already a couple of carts that have gone for a burden through the chicane. They've just about got going again, but out in front it is the Rosberg Academy star Taylor Barnard who leads the way as we've got an off in the background, but Barnard is out in front. Second position for Kayaski at the moment, trying desperately to hang on as Dino Beganovic slots into third position in front of Victor Bernier, the Frenchman, and we've got an off in the background, and that looks like it could be a retirement. No, it's not. They're going to get back on the circuit again. That is the 219 who has gone off the circuit. Josh Tufek of Austria. He's got himself back on the circuit again. So it looks like a very rough and tumble first lap at the back, but at the front it is going to battle. And Taylor Barnard leads the way in the Rosberg Academy colours as he leads the way for Kart Republic. Kayaski second, third is Beganovic, then it's Bernier, Mini, Armand, Bortoletto, Aaron, Vanthof, Griggs, Ten Brinker and Marti Sobrapera from Enzo Skionti and Guillermo de Figueiredo. The battle begins as they run on the second lap. Up and over the crest on that bump. They do actually get airborne in these karts as they push their way forward. As up the inside, Enzo Skionti makes the move to go up into P6. And for second, that is Beganovic. He makes the lunge on Kayaski, and Beganovic is through to second place. This is a worry for Barnard. He knows how strong Beganovic is here. So, Dino Beganovic in second place on home soil. Now charging after Taylor Barnard. Kayaski is still there in third position for the moment from Bernier and Gabriele Mini, the Italian for Paronin. Sixth position, Gabriele Bortoletto still going to battle as there's a few choice overtaking moves in the midfield on this second lap. But after two, with 19 to go, it's Barnard from Beganovic, Aski, Bernier and Mini.
What a start of the race, my dear Jake. It has been cold outside, a little bit of windy, and now we're good to go for the first of the two finals. A beautiful battle up front, the 205 Kayaski, under the pressure of Victor Bernier just behind him. And I think Bernier goes for the win. Yes, he goes for it, the Frenchman. There's a first overtaking maneuver from Victor Bernier on Kayaski into third position. Beautifully made from the VDK driver.
And Mini got through into fourth position as well, so Gabriele Mini is now in P4, charging after the Frenchman, Victor Bernier. Let's not forget that there is still one man we haven't really considered as a potential world champion. Paul Aaron has moved his way now up into seventh place, just one ahead of Delano Vanthof. Paul Aaron, the European champion. We've got two karts off in the background. That looks to me like we've lost Nikita Bedrin and Norton Andreasen. So Bedrin and Andreasen have gone. That is a real shame for the Russian and the Swede on home soil, but the race continues. There's Bortoletto trying to shake off the European champion Paul Aaron in the 201, but Barnard is being caught by Beganovic. Obviously a lot of hard work has gone into this point, but Barnard came up strong in the heats with 4 wins and an amazing performance from the youngster, hoping to fly the flag for Great Britain in 2 consecutive years as back-to-back world champions from Great Britain, and of course the third ever after Enem Ahmed and Dexter Patterson. Is Taylor Barnard going to join that list? Beganovic, though, is hustling him and is hoping to be the first FIA karting world champion of any kind since 1996.
Fantastic way to start racing at 222. Taylor Barnard, Dino Beganovic. We expected that battle to take place, and now this is the case. Beganovic is showing himself into the rear end of Taylor Barnard as they make their way onto the start-finish line. Let's have a look at the gap. 0.2 of a second. This is it between Taylor Barnard and Dino Beganovic on the way into turn number 1 and the chicane. But pay attention to Bernier, he's very fast at the moment. The Frenchman trying to get past Beganovic, increase the pressure on both Barnard and the Swedish driver. Gabriele Mini still in 4th position. Could he actually try to catch up? He's in the good wagon, the pole sitter from the Parolin Racing team. And a bit further back behind, we have Bortoletto, Kayaski, Paul Aaron still battling. And there's a move, I think, just behind. Yeah, between the two drivers. Paul Aaron getting past Kayaski, I think, just happened over there. Somebody attempt at the forefront, and Victor Bernier getting past Dino Beganovic indeed.
Bernier into second position past Dino Beganovic. So Victor Bernier is going for the battle. Didn't we say that Victor Bernier was a great challenge for the World Championship? Taylor Barnard has now got Victor Bernier breathing down his neck as they come over the line once more. It is Barnard from Bernier, Beganovic in third position, Mini, Bortoletto, Aaron, Aski, Vanthof and Armand. With in 10th position Luca Griggs in front of Marti Sobrapera Sobrapera. It is going to be a really exciting battle. This is an absolutely sensational race, but Barnard's got to hang on to the pressure cooker at the moment. Bernier is turning up the dial. Beganovic still there in third. Mini fourth, and Bortoleto is not out of this one yet in fifth. The Brazilian has been very strong over the course of the weekend, so let's see what Bortoleto can do to chip away at the top four. Barnard has got Bernier really underneath him now as he tries Bernier to go for the move on Taylor Barnard. He's close, he's not quite there, but you do sense that there's going to be an overtake as they come through 10 and 11. The tyres working their hardest, the G-force at its height. Bernier's going for the lead in the final turn. Bernier takes the lead of the World Championship, but Barnard comes straight back alongside. They're going to be side by side at turn one. Barnard's going to hold the line. Take that, Victor.
And there's a fight back from Taylor Barnard, who just lost the lead for 2 corners. And Victor Bernier is going to try again, that's for sure. The young Frenchman who still has something to say in that final as we're getting underway. Just 6 laps completed only, and we already have the battle fantastic between those two drivers. And look behind what's happening with Beganovic and Mini. Those two could take. There's a change!
Again!
Bernier needs online!
Mini goes for Beganovic as well, so Mini through into third position past Beganovic, but Victor Bernier takes the lead of the World Championship. Barnard is not done yet. He knows that he's still got plenty of time. This is only lap 7 of 21. We're about to approach the end of the first third of the race. Still a long way to go, but Victor Bernier has hit the front for the first time in front of Barnard. Mini Bortoleto making the move for 4th position up the inside of Beganovic. The Swede is down to 5th place now. So it's Bernier, Barnard, Mini, Bortoleto and Beganovic who's coming straight back at him. Amazing racing, and it's already got Felipe Massa and Nico Rosberg on tenterhooks watching like school children on the starting gantry. They are absolutely riveted, and no surprises with the Rosberg Academy man Barnard chasing after Victor Bernier.
Yeah, the race is long before being ended as Taylor Barnard is chasing Victor Bernier indeed. Gabriele Mini could play part, and there comes Gabriele Bortoleto taking 3rd place in the hands of Gabriele Mini. There he goes, the Brazilian driver. Mini trying to fight back, but stays behind as Gabriele Bortoleto closes up the door just behind him. Beautifully made from Gabriele Bortoleto, who could play a part maybe in this final and trying to chase Victor Bernier and Taylor Barnard.
Watch out for the 2 men behind the top 5 as well. Paul Aaron is now 6th, Delano Vanthoff is now 7th. Both of those have been very steely, feisty competitors in this weekend. They are 6th and 7th, and they have not had enough from this weekend yet. There is Paul Aaron, European champion. Delano Vanthoff, the Dutchman there, 206, is still very much in contention for this one as well. These two have both won plenty of accolades over the course of the weekend. Paul Aaron has really struggled over the course of the heats. He was never really in a winning position, but he's drilled in those results. He's kept himself firmly in the top 10 every single time. So Paul Aaron may well be saving his very best to last. Don't forget, he is the European champion, which he won last month at the final round at SA in France. But Delano Vanthoff has been a very steely competitor, and he could already be in this top 5, don't forget, had he not slipped off the road on slick tyres in the wet in the last 3 laps of the heat that he was in control of. So Delano Vanthoff will want vengeance, but he's got company of his own now because Marcos Armand is closing up in 8th position. Kirol Smal is 9th. Kayaski has unfortunately slipped to 10th.
There's battles at every stage of this fantastic racing. This is the final race of the weekend, the biggest that we've been expecting for a while. Gabriele Mini is closing up to Gabriele Bortoleto. The Paralympian driver is going to try something on the way to turn number 4. It's not happening yet for Paralympian driver Gabriele Mini, 203, just chasing the Brazilian. Behind him, it could be the chance for Dino Beganovic, one of the local heroes who was starting from the front row, who dropped it up to 3 position in 5. But we are far away from being over in this race, and Beganovic has still a shot at the title, and why not at the podium, certainly. Bortoleto on your screen trying to chase Taylor Barnard, and look at the gap between Victor Bernier and Taylor Barnard. It seems like it's increasing at the moment. We were half of a second between those two. It was the previous gap. Let's have a look as they come across the finish line very soon. Bernier, good exit out of turn number 12 in front of Taylor Barnard. Let's have a look at the gap, up to almost 7/10 of a second after 10 laps.
That's fair enough, but it's still halfway to go. I don't think Taylor Barnard is done yet by any stretch of the imagination. There's a long way to go in this race. We're on lap 11 of 21, and he will know how to close in on Victor Bernier if he gets the chance. Victor will be pushing to build a gap, but if he pushes those tyres too hard, then Taylor Barnard, Gabriele Bortoleto, Gabriele Mini and Dino Beganovic will be right there for the hunt. Meanwhile, Aaron, Vanthoff and Armand are closing closing up together, 6th, 7th and 8th as they continue to push on. There's some great battling in the lower positions as well, as just keeping an eye on a battle further at the back as Sebastian Montoya makes up a few places as he battles away. So that's another Formula One man in the paddock somewhere. Juan Pablo watching his son Sebastian go to work. Enzo Trulli is still doing a reasonably good job battling away with the likes of Isaac Hajar and Matthew Rees, and Jarno will be watching him closely. That's how important this race is. It is the biggest race in karting for the junior brigade of racers. But out in front, Victor Bernier has picked up 7/10 of a second on Barnard. Barnard sets his personal best in that lap. Here we go, he's coming back.
Yeah, the young British driver trying to get some more speed in the start-finish line by bending his helmet on his wheel. That's a karting driver trick indeed, and it just paid off for Telo Barnard, who's going to try to get himself out of the pressure from Gabriele Bortoleto and Gabriele Mini. Those two just behind. On your picture, the Brazilian driver showing to Barnard that is there just behind, trying to take different line from Telo Barnard, and a lot of pressure in second position. I'm afraid that for Telo Barnard, there's going to be a lot of effort to be put together to prevent Bortoleto to get past him, but Mini could have a chance as well. Bortoleto very threatening as they make their way into the last corner. Victor Bernier crossing the line just in front of Nico Rosberg and Mr. Felipe Massa. Rosberg following his driver's performance as never before. Telo Barnard half of a second behind Bernier at the moment.
This is the thing, Barnard is using Bortoleto and Mini to work with him. They're in unison at the moment. They are not in opposition until they close up on Victor Bernier. They are working each other around the circuit, using each other's slipstream, using each other's draft to push each other around the circuit to close back up on Victor Bernier. Bernier getting a lead, but it is definitely not done yet because these three up the inside of Bortoleto's got to second. Bortoleto's gone to second on Barnard. We did say the Brazilian could be a strong contender for this one, and very quietly, very calmly, Gabriel Bortoleto has got himself into potentially a winning position. If he works with Barnard and Mini, they will close in on Victor Bernier. Meanwhile, further back, Marcus Amand has been making a move as Mini does for the inside of Barnard. Barnard gets him straight back.
And the battle is on, and Telo Barnard is going to try to hold his position in front of Gabriele Mini, but now it looks very dangerous for the Rosberg Racing driver. Indeed, in third, Gabriele Mini is trying to charge him in fourth position, and further back we saw a good move from Marcus Amand getting past Dylan Ovanto for sixth position, and Paul Aaron, losing a position to Dylan Ovanto for 7 back in 8, the European champion in the junior category, 8th position in front of Kirill Small and Kayaski in 10th position with a drop of 7 places since the start of this race. Definitely not the good scenario for Kayaski.
Bernier, Bortoleto, Barnard and Mini at the moment. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Bortoleto trying to drop Barnard and Mini as he closes up on Victor Bernier for the victory. But Bernier has been so cool, calm and calculated through this weekend. There's Gabriele Mini, the 202 in the Paladin chassis. He's really starting to work his magic onto the back of Taylor Barnard. This is an amazing debut on the world stage for Barnard, the youngster from Great Britain. But it looks to me as though he's going to have to dig deep and find something special. We're into the third part of the 3 in this race effectively. Lap 15, 2/3 done and 1/3 to go. 7 laps left of this Junior World Championship final, and it looks like it's going to be played out between Victor Bernier and Gabriel Bortoleto, with Taylor Barnard and Gabriele Mini doing their best to try and close in, but it looks like Dino Beganovic may have to play a support role on this occasion. He is there in 5th place, 6th position, still going well for Marcus Amand. Then it's Kirill Small from Dilano Van Toff, Paul Aaron, Kai Aski, Suleiman Zanfari, De Figueiredo, Schionti, Dunn, Griggs, Wharton, Berg and Ten Brinker.
14 laps completed into this OKJ Junior final. Victor Bernier still your leader with a bit more than 6/10 of a second advantage on Gabriel Bortoleto. Telo Barnard, Gabriele Mini, this is the top 4 coming across the start-finish line at this moment. Telo Barnard and the rising pressure from Gabriele Mini, just 2/10 of a second behind those two. And this is going to be the battle for third, now getting underway as Gabriele Mini is trying to decrease the gap that he has on the Card Republic driver onto the corner number 4. Then we have further back Dino Beganovic and Marcus Amand getting past Kirill Small once again, making his way up to the field. Beautiful battle back on the screen between them. And there goes Gabriele Mini taking the inside line. Beautifully made from the Italian driver. And this is one more position drop for Telo Barnard back in 4th.
So Mini into 3rd position, now trying to close up on our race leader, Victor Bernier. Gabriel Bortoleto, the Brazilian, still in 2nd place. But Bernier is trying to pull out a gap. He's just done the fastest first sector of anybody. Second sector, the fastest of anybody, is actually the Russian Kirill Small, who has moved into 7th position. So Kirill Small could well play an interesting role in this race. Come the finish, he is dipping down low, trying to close up on Marcus Amand, who is in 6th position. In there behind Dino Beganovic, the home favourite, in 5th position. But Bernier still controls this pace from Bortoleto, Mini and Taylor Barnard. I tell you what, this has been an absolutely intriguing battle. Victor Bernier with a strong lead at the moment, 0.7 of a second. Fastest of anybody again in the first sector, although Kirill Smile sets the fastest lap of the race. But with 5 laps to go, Bernier is very close to putting this world title beyond reach.
Yeah, he showed brilliant performance all throughout the European season already. Victor Bernier, 4th in the overall ranking in the FIA Karting European Championship in this junior category after good performance on home soil in France. And now is keeping his promise to fight for the title as he's on the lead with more than 0.7 of a second. Let's have a look at the gap. Looking over his shoulder, the VDK driver to try to see where the others are. Gabriele Bortoleto in front, 0.8 of a second now for the lead. The 204 Victor Bernier is trying to increase his gap, and he does that very well. Bortoleto, Gabriele Mini, just 0.3 between those two. Mini is going to try something. He has to in the less than 4 remaining laps if he wants to have maybe a shot at the title. Gabriele Mini has to go for Gabriele Bortoleto first before attacking Victor Bernier. Of course, this is easier said than done for the pole sitter of this event. Right now on your picture with the white crash helmet, but he has the pace to do that. Let's fingers crossed for the last stages of this race. Gabriele Mini in 3rd, Bortoleto 2nd, Bernier is still 1st, and a good advantage built up together by the Frenchman.
I do think Gabriele Mini is going to get Gabriele Bortoleto before they close up on Victor Bernier. The Frenchman is definitely opening up the tanks, and now he's got 3 laps to go with an advantage of 0.8 of a second. That's going to be incredibly tough for anybody to come close to, but Bortoleto trying to hang on at the moment in front of Gabriele Mini. I think Mini is suddenly realizing as well that the win may not be on, but he could get 2nd place. But Gabriele Bortoleto, the Brazilian, is still absolutely determined to try and close up on Bernier. For the Frenchman, he doesn't even have to think about defending at this point. He's got enough of a cushion that he can control his racing line. Things are okay and hunky-dory at the moment for the Frenchman. Bernier leads the way, 2nd place for Bortoleto, Mini closing down, so it's going to be a really interesting challenge for these guys as they continue into the closing stages. There will be 2 laps to go at the end of this one.
Yeah, time is running out for Gabriele Mini that you have on screen, the 202 from Italy in 3rd position, and is getting closer to Gabriele Bortoleto. Could we actually some very late maneuver coming from the Italian driver, very close, a bit more than 0.1 of a second into the chicane. Gabriele Bortoleto has a good exit, but as well for Gabriele Mini trying to chase the Brazilian in 2nd position. This is all to the advantage of Victor Bernier, who can actually pull away in the meantime all the way to the victory in this final. We have the battle. This is going to be on until the checkered flag. There he goes!
Mini goes for the inside of Bortoleto and gets him in a 2nd position. The Brazilian will want to fight back. He knows there's surely no chance of catching up with the Frenchman in the lead of this race. So 2nd position is going to have to do. But now that Mini has got there, Bortoleto will want to come back at him. Watch him in the final hairpin. He's going to try and set him up through these 2 double left apexes. Can he go from the final hairpin? No, he's going to have to set him up on the final lap. Here we go. Victor Bernier is 1 away from becoming junior world champion. He may just get this now. Through the first corner, Victor Bernier hanging on to things. It looks to me as though it's going to be a brilliant moment for the Frenchman. Just as Victor Martins took the victory in 2016, it looks as though the tricolor will be flying high, but who will get 2nd? Mini is trying to disappear away from Bortoleto, and I think he's got enough space to cover. 3rd position is going to be Bortoleto in front of Taylor Barnard as a last gasp effort. The 5th position comes in from Kirill Smile. He gets the move on Marcus Armand. As we go into the 3rd and final sector though, Smile is going to maintain that 5th position run. Armand is going to be 6th. But the man who started P5 on the grid for this one, he's going to sweep the board. He's been quiet, he's been cool, he's been calm, he's been calculated. But now the moment is his. Victor Bernier is the junior world champion. What a moment for Bernier. A brilliant race, a superb effort, and an absolutely commanding victory. We have a new world champion. His name, Victor Bernier. Absolutely superb. Gabriele Mini in 2nd place from Gabriele Bortoleto, an Italian and a Brazilian on the podium. And look at the sportsmanship. Fantastic to see all of the guys congratulating Bernier after a stunning drive. I'm not sure many people expected that one coming in after the crushing displays in the heats of Barnard, Beganovic and Kai Aski. But Bernier knew something we didn't. He knew just how fast he could be. There's your World Championship result. Victor Bernier Gabriele Mini and Gabriel Bortoletto on the Junior World Championship podium. Barnard in fourth from Kirill Smal, Marga Zaman, Dino Beganovic, Dilana Vantov, Paul Aaron and Suleiman Zanfari in the top 10 from Isaac Ajar, Kai Aski and Alex Dunn. Then Guillermo de Figueiredo, James Wharton, Enzo Schionti, Thomas Nepfu, Maya Wurg, Luca Griggs in 18th from Jose Marti, Sami Megatunif, Matthew Rees, Josh Defek, Isaac Ajar and Lawrence Van Heupen, Thomas ten Brinker, Enzo Trulli, Alfio Spina, Lorenzo Flusha, Nikita Artomanov, Zach O'Sullivan, Loris Cabadou and Sebastian Montoya complete the field, with Nikita Vedrin and Norton Andreasen out of the race in the first couple of laps.